So I'll tell you. Okay. Now introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Shreya. I'm from Foundation year BR and I'm from Nagpur, Maharashtra.
Maharashtra, Nagpur.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So, tell me, Shreya, do you listen to classical music?
Not every day, but like sometimes. It depends on the mood, to be honest.
Okay, very good. But you do listen to it
Yeah,
sometimes.
my father is actually really big Indian classical music enthusiast,
Very
so
good.
I enjoy it with him sometimes.
On your own, I'm talking about
Yeah, I
when you're
do.
just on your own.
No, I do listen.
You do listen sometimes, right? If you listen if you listen to music 10 times, okay, what other music do you like? First, tell me that.
It's really diverse. I listen to everything, but not everything.
For example,
Mostly pop, I guess, but
what kind of pop? Who's your favorite? Beyonce, or who's your favorite?
it's K-pop.
You like K-pop,
Yeah,
Korean pop? It's wonderful. It's very nice. Yeah,
and American pop as
and
well,
American pop as well. Okay.
and like old Bollywood music, as Abir said.
How come everyone says old Bollywood music now?
Because it's to be honest, the music Bollywood is making right now, it's like repeating stuff. It's the same thing, but just a little different. It's not.
Electronic beats,
Yeah, it's
computer
little
generated.
boring to be honest.
You find that boring?
A
Very
little.
good. But
Old one
okay,
is like
okay,
classic.
very good. Tell me, out of 10 times you listen to music, how many times would it be Indian classical?
4 or 5 times maybe.
You listen to that much Indian classical?
Yeah, I do.
That's excellent. Most people don't even listen to it at all. Have you seen a real performance, a live?
The
What kind
Spick
of
Mickey you were talking about,
you were
that
seeing
used to
speak?
happen in our school.
Okay, very
So
good.
we used to go and like watch dance performances and flute performances. I
Did you
used to love
enjoy
it.
that?
Yes, I used to love it.
If I told you that we want to have a big Indian classical
I'd love
concert,
that.
you would want to go that?
Sure.
Can you tell me
Yeah.
what is it that attracts you in Indian classical music?
Might be a little stereotypical, but it does get you in a different zone.
In a trance.
Yeah, it's if you listen to it carefully and like get into it, it's enjoyable. It's really
Why
good.
do you think it puts you in a trance?
I guess it has that thing. I don't know. To be honest, I like classical music live more than recorded ones. So
Yeah, of
I
course.
try to watch the live performances more than the recorded studio versions.
Excellent. You know, with electronic and digital media, less and less live performances happen, and more.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. More and more is just
Yeah.
digital news feeds. You know. Now let me ask you a question. Since you like Indian classical music, do you think Indian classical music has been moved aside from the mainstream?
A little, I guess.
The kind of importance which is given to Bollywood and pop and all, do
Yeah.
you think that's overshadows the kind of importance given to Indian classical
A
music?
little, but people are trying to bring it back and do stuff to recognize it more.
Very
But
good.
the people who like it. People who don't, you cannot force them to like it.
Yeah, sure. But you can't force anyone to do anything. But we can at least say that there
Yeah,
is some
make them
value in
aware.
this.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
sure, sure.
you think Indian classical can make a big comeback with if young generation participates in it properly?
It can, I guess.
And do you think it should?
Why not? I'd love
Like,
that.
for example, if you saw a Metallica concert, some big rock band,
I like rock
why?
as well.
Huh?
I like rocks.
You like rock, right? Why can't? Can do you think we can present Indian classical music on that kind of big stage?
See, We can, but the Indian classical music needs a lot of attention and maybe um, how can I place it? मतलब ध्यान देना पड़ता है बहुत.
हिंदी में बोलो, कोई बात नहीं.
The rock band में कैसे you just go with the flow ना. It's but in Indian classical music you have to
If
pay
I tell-
attention to it. I guess.
If I
To
tell you,
enjoy it.
if I tell you, कोई ध्यान देने का ज़रूरत नहीं है, सिर्फ ऑब्जॉर्व करना, सुनना और एंजॉय कर रहा है. इफ़ आई टेल यू आज के बाद तुम कभी इंडियन क्लासिकल म्यूजिक सुनते हो, ध्यान मत दो,
Okay.
खाली जस्ट लिसन टू इट रनिंग इन द बैकग्राउंड. और जो रॉक में जो हैं लोग गेट अ थ्रिल, आई थिंक 10 times that thrill can be given through Indian classical
Yeah, I
music.
agree with that.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Do you think Indian classical music can give bigger thrill than heavy metal and all?
Maybe.
It is very intense, don't you think it's intense?
It is intense.
Sometimes it's very soft,
Sometimes. it's
sometimes it become angry. It has many characteristics, right?
Yeah, I know.
What are those characteristics?
As in.
Let's say there is a Indian classical performance, then there is first a part called alap. Then
Yeah.
slowly they start something, then they start making some variations in the alap, and
The
it becomes the
ragas.
jhala.
Yeah.
Then they increase the speed, it becomes a chara, and then they go to pick, and then that's called the ghat. So these are 4 parts
Yes.
which are in every raga. What
know
are these parts doing?
It, I guess, it's like a journey you travel
Very
through it.
good. Our journey, what it tells a story.
Yes, it does.
If you listen to a raga, do you think that you've heard a story in the raga?
I don't actually really relate to it as they explain it,
Yeah.
but it's a different interpretation.
It's a kind of a
Yeah.
listenable story,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is.
Do you think that a classical performance is a whole story? It has all the
Yes.
characteristics of a story.
Yeah. I've
And-
actually learned classical music,
You've learned also classical music.
vocals for 2 years.
Very
So
good.
I guess I know that much.
So you're studying architecture. Let me ask you another question. In architecture, I don't know if they teach you like the old Greek style in which you had the ionic pillars and aeolian pillars. There was arrangements of pillars. In ancient Greek architecture, the arrangement of pillars was often related to the arrangements of notes in a scale. They even have names like that, the Dorian, the Phrygian.
Yeah.
Do you think that can be applied in Indian raga system, and can we create architecture based on Indian raga system?
Indian what?
Raga system.
Are you suggesting that we can do architecture based on ragas?
Yes, why not?
We can.
Has anyone done it?
I don't know.
Would you like to do it?
I would love to try it.
If there are thousands of ragas, imagine how many thousands of schemes of architectural designs you can come up with.
Yes, true.
There is a famous old saying that architecture is frozen music. Okay, why? It's frozen in stone. It doesn't move, but it's musical. The way pillars are arranged or the way a roof is laid. There are musical, rhythmic quality to it. Can we apply that to Indian context?
Now that you put it that way, I think we can.
Oh, I insist that it should be put that way. Because I insist that you don't understand. I insist that you have not been told the importance of Indian classical music. Nobody has ever told you since you were born up till now. But if it was in your school curriculum, you'll be much more educated about it. you know?
Yeah.
You won't be casual about it. If I say architecture is unimportant, will you agree?
No.
You'll never agree.
I-
Same way, nobody can say that Indian classical art is unimportant.
Yeah, I never said that it's not important.
Well, there are some people I said it's bullshit because no one's gonna ever listen to it.
Hmm.
Why has that happened in society? That someone can
Taste,
reject it so outrightly.
taste change, generational gap.
It's not
That's
taste, it's ignorance, I think. Because no one's ever told them what they can get from it. Do you agree to
yeah.
that statement? Okay. That's very good. Thank you.